Welcome to Revelations for Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. I'm your lucky trading guy, Tom Sacred Prophet Hartman, here with our favorite Lord of Liquidity buddy, Peter Bad Guru Hartman.
Hey guys.
On Revelations, we recap the day's trade setups, the wins, the sins, and the golly gee good luck that we all had, as well as what we're watching in the days ahead, all to teach you, the congregation, how to trade. So like, follow, and listen, because the next few minutes might just change your gosh darn life.
Oh, well, thank you, Goofy.
Well, that's a little bit different energy there, Peter. A little bit different energy. Because I'm happy. Happy
Are
that
you happy?
you succeeded in your trading today, all because of what you've learned from me.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of juice. I mean, I succeeded. I am up $127 on my 3 prop firm accounts, so I'm happy about that. Got in, got
Wait,
out.
these are accounts that were going to die, or did you start new ones?
I had one that was like inches away from death, and then I have 2 other ones.
Sweet. So could you have done this without the indicators from the Sacred Prophet? Sweet.
I could gamble. Sure, I could gamble. I could just gamble 50-50.
You put 10 minis and just go buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell.
I did 2 things though. I did increase position size. I realized that's one of my problems. One micro is not enough, so I did 2 micros so that a smaller move gave me a bigger amount. It's a little riskier, but
large.
Yeah, but so I did my strategy where when I'm scalping, I don't do that. $75 is the cost of my trade, and I do that 4 times. What I do is I look for momentum for a trend, and then I bring my stop loss up to break even as soon as I can, even if it'll stop me out. I'll bring it up to break even, and if I'll just try again, and then when it catches, it's like catching a fish, and it rises, then I'll put it up to 20, 30, 40, and then I'll let it rise up. So doing that plus two contracts gave me a lot more on a small move.
The student has become the master.
Yeah. Men who can catch fly with chopsticks can accomplish anything.
Well, today, look, I've been staying out on the market mostly. Mainly because I've just been focused on doing other things, creating strategies, creating tools. I really want to upgrade the Sacred Prophet library over the next couple of weeks so that it has the things that you guys, I've been wanting to give to you guys. I want killer products, killer apps within our system. And I had the mentality here of what the Fiverr CEO said to his staff about AI. He goes, hey, normal tasks are now easy. Hard tasks are now normal. And impossible tasks are now hard. Go find those impossible tasks.
Right.
And that's what I'm going to be doing. I want to bring stuff in here. Now, some people like Luxalgo just released Quant, this indicator generator system, and Robinhood has their own process where you can create new indicators yourself, as well as on Traders Post. We have a Pine Script agents library where people can create their own scripts. But I'm realizing, just like with AI, people don't want to make their own things. Doesn't matter how easy it is.
100%.
People don't want to learn how to make a conjure a Patronus. They're just not going to do it.
And that's good. That's a good thing. Like, people do what they need to do. It does take brain power and focus. If you're not inclined to do this thing, I totally get it. That's why following people and using other people as filters for the world is very important.
That's right. So my initial idea with the CAS strategy builder that I've been upgrading was I'm going to make this whole thing. There's going to be all kinds of different settings inside, and people are going to be able to create their own things out of it.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, I don't know that I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I'll still add it to the library. No reason not to have it added to the library. But as I'm dealing with some of the beta testers, I'm realizing people want me to figure out what the best settings are and just make a thing that's just for that.
That's right. That's
So
right.
I was like, okay, that's
Same thing with levels. I got to tell you, because I know you have you have levels and level, which I think is good. But when I'm looking at the chart, there's a learning curve to figure out, okay, what's the overnight session? What's the current session? What is the trend level session? What is the 2-hour VWAP? Like, I have to memorize those things and look on the chart. I don't think most people will do that. So, I mean, I don't know what most people will do. I wanted to ask you about that. But if you can have something that's just more like
Well, the
Simplify.
next version of it, the next enhancement I'm doing is it's literally going to draw arrows from the price where you're at right now. What's the probability that it goes there? What's the
Hey,
probability that it goes there? And it's just literally going to be like 80% chance it goes there, 22% chance it goes there, 15% and 5% chance it goes flat, and it'll adjust over time and still keep the history of it if you wanted to. So you'll just be able to look at the chart and goes, hey, the script knows 6 o'clock is coming. This is where Tom thinks it's going to go. This is where Tom thinks it's going to go on the for every one of the trading sessions. Just dead simple. The trading sessions, the Asian session, the London session, US session, all that. Like make it dead simple. This is what is happening here. This why this moved this way. Blah blah blah. A nice little tutorial treat, not a tutorial mode, but a cheat mode for people to see that.
Eli
But
5 mode.
yeah, but we'll talk about that on Sunday Fuel this weekend. Today, I wanted to go over the big rally that we had in equities and on Bitcoin, actually all across the board as we had a pullback on the dollar. This is an important thing, folks. When we are dealing with high volatility situation, and we know we were in a high volatility situation for a number of different reasons. We saw the VIX was at one standard deviation up. It was at like 23 yesterday. And it's been rising. This is this red line you see at the bottom of the chart here. The VIX rising up, and so when you have here, that might be a little bit
The
easier to
VIX is
see.
volatility index.
The VIX is a volatility index. It's a 30-day realized 30-day implied volatility for the S&P. So it's a nice little shortcut, for people who don't want to look at the option space. So we saw that go up and to the right. So volatility was increasing up and to the right. What's volatility? Volatility is the range of possible prices for an asset, right? It just means that if it's before it was bouncing between $5 up and down, now it might be bouncing between $50 up and down. Volatility doesn't mean for sure it'll get to a certain price. It just means that the range of possible prices increases. All right. And because it increases, the options, the bet people are placing to hedge themselves or what have you, these things cost more because the guy on the other side of the bet says, hey, there's a higher likelihood that I'm going to have to pay out on this bet. So you're going to have to give me more upfront in order to buy this. So the VIX goes up and to the right. But we didn't only see the VIX go up and to the right. We also saw this purple line here is the move index. So the bond market went up and to the right. Bonds, as we've talked about before, are better than cash, right? Much better than the cash. So when the bond market is going up, that means trillions of dollars are also hedging. Like it's not just, hey, we're hedging it for MSTR, we're hedging on Tesla or something like that. It's massive money. It's sovereign. It's nations who are hedging against this sort of thing. So you can get massive moves that happen within the markets. When we say massive, we're talking about massive in terms of what we normally see intraday. So from the lows to here, we had a rise up. This is from the lows of the 3rd of March. We had a rise of about 3%. A 3% move in NASDAQ is like twice as big as you normally get. Like a 1% move in a day or a 1% move in a week is pretty significant. For it to be 3% that happened in 2 days, that's a lot. That's a lot. And so we had this rise up off the low. So let's just take a quick look at what happened on MNQ first, and then we're going to take a look at Bitcoin afterwards, because we talked about this yesterday, the likelihood that Bitcoin was going to rise up, and that's exactly what happened. But let's take a look at MNQ. So yesterday we closed MNQ here right at the weekly VWAP level. Let's just actually I'm going to start. I'm going to start leaving. Sorry, what was that, Peter?
I was just asking if you can move the watch list area more over so it,
Sure.
yeah, so we can see those numbers a little less.
So
That's good.
I'm going to start leaving waves on the chart. I know it's a little bit hard for people to see, but once you start seeing it regularly, you're going to be like, oh my God, how do I not have this on my chart? Wave is just our indicator for our volume weighted moving averages. And so it's all these nice colored lines on the chart. There's a new update coming soon for Wave that'll make it a little bit easier to see and have some customization options. But for now, this is what you'll be seeing on my chart. All right. So as we say this here, you'll notice that in the overnight, the price fell down exactly to where we'd expect to the unmitigated levels from the day before. So the day before, VWAP and session VWAP closed basically right here next to each other around 24.6. And then that's where price came to. All right. If we just take a little bit closer peek, we'll notice that it did a little run up beforehand. Why? Because it went up to grab a nearby 2-hour level. There's a 2-hour level here. So that's exactly where it wicked off and then fell down from there. I actually took this short from over here. Um, this is all very important because these are the sorts of things that stop people out, right? Someone who doesn't know, if who's not part of the congregation, might jump in here and they're like, okay, 6 o'clock, I'm gonna take the short. But we're there and we go, hey, we're very near a 2-hour level. Maybe we just wait and we place a stop market order at that level, right?
Mhm.
And that's a better place to get in so that you don't have to get stopped out and then it moves in the other direction. And so then it moved down. Now, because of the volatility, and I'm going to have to make some modifications here for our scripts to take volatility more into consideration. But because of the volatility, the price continued to fall to this 2-hour level that was created from the 12 o'clock price move from yesterday. And that's exactly where it fell down here. This is what I keep reminding you guys. You're going to see moves like this where the chart fell and just literally V'd up from over there. And people go, I don't understand. Why did it happen right over here? And you'll see it happened because there was a level there.
Mhm.
That's where it bounced off. And there was no other levels nearby underneath. And
That's what
so
gives me confidence when I'm on the chart. I look at it and I just know, well, there's no level, so there's no attractor up there, but there is one down there. I know we're heading in this direction, but the likelihood is we're going to turn back around to this direction. And even if you're a dummy like me, you don't understand all the details. That's like that's the difference between you're driving down the street and you know whether or not to turn left or right to get to your destination. I might not know all the twists and turns, but I know if I should go completely that way or completely that way, and it saves you a huge amount of headache.
and that's why time is so important. Time to me is way more important than price. I'm talking about a level, which is a price level down here. Yeah. But what's that price level? It's a 2-hour VWAP level that was not completed. Over here, at this 2-hour at 12 o'clock yesterday, the candle started and a VWAP level was created, and we didn't get back there. And so the price needed to go up and then come back down to the level. And then it was able to move on, right? So that's why time is so important. Sometimes, like we saw yesterday, it's not the level like that. It happens over here, but what it is, it's what the trading sessions. If I toss on the trading sessions for the London session, it wasn't yesterday or the day before. Um, yeah, the day before here, the London session. That's where it fell to, right? And it's at the time of the London session that it decided to move. But the time is what mattered because the time brings on new force buyers and new force sellers, and it also removes force buyers and force sellers, right? They get out of the market and then things can move in the other direction. So super, super important to keep that in mind. All right. So the price bounced over there and then it ran up. And you might say, why did it run up? Why didn't it keep falling? Wars and uncertainty and all that. Why didn't we fall? Well, we've been talking about this for a few days now. What did we say about this level up here that was created from February 26th? This level over here. We missed it. We missed mitigating it over here on the 27th, over here on the 2nd. We missed it. And what have I been saying day after day after day? I go, we whiffed it. So at some point, we got to get back to it. At some point, we got to get back to clear this level. And what happened? Today, it happened. Now, this what I'm about to show you next is not a hard and fast rule, but it's a pattern I've been noticing more and more, and I want us to pay attention to it when it shows up. You see this teal level. This is a monthly level. Um, I don't have the name because there's so many of these freaking levels inside of this script that it would be hard for people to pay attention to. But it's essentially this number, this monthly level that the price is at, this monthly level. And so what happens is that the the monthly level was coming down. So you see over here, let me show you.
Bring back that watch list panel so we can frame the.
So oftentimes a wave will act as like the countdown trigger for when something will happen. So as this level came closer and closer and closer and closer down towards this level, the waves themselves are also types of attractors.
Mm.
So as they get closer to closer, it's like that magnet got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then boom, the price is like, well, now I got to get there. It's going to happen today or tomorrow. Like it was going to happen pretty soon. This was going to come too close over here, and the price jumped up. So it launched up. Now let's take a look at this move, how it moved up. All right. Because when you're trading intraday, this stuff is important. You can't just be, yeah, if you got in over here for the long, hold that sucker and be done with it. But let's say you wanted to start at 9:30. What do you do? Right? What do you do? So if we're here at 9:30, 9:30 is this candle over here. It opens up. And you're not sure what's going on. Volatility is high. You can get whipsawed. So what you do is that you ignore whatever the hell that candle is doing that moment. This candle is a doji candle. I think this is called a tombstone, if I'm not mistaken. Massive top wick, small bottom wick with a doji. I mean, this is an uncertainty volume, volatile candle as anything. There are people who went long and short and long and short and long and short in that 15 minutes, thinking that they could see what was going to happen, and they could not. Right, Peter? You remember at one point this candle looked like this, right? It looked like this.
Yep.
At one point, this candle was full green. This candle was full green up there. People were getting ready to set their longs. But look what we notice over here. This is where some art comes in here, folks. And this is why there's so many volume wave levels, because they come and they just let you know, hey, there's a current here. Pay attention. So you guys notice this dashed line? This is a wave showing us there's something here. There's something in this area. And then this yellow one is the weekly volume weighted moving average. It's also saying, hey, there's some pressure here. So you notice here, this whole beach whale, these dolphins are jumping out of the water. It's trying to get steam to get up. First, it comes up over here. It hits, it comes back down because it coincided with a 2-hour level that's right over here. Hits and comes back down. Okay, too much. In fact, another 2-hour level showed up over here, so it got dragged down. So magnet. Price moves down. It overshoots. Why? Because we had a weekly VWAP level building over here, so it came all the way back down over there. Right? These are where these levels are moving with each other. It's this concert, this orchestration of all kinds of different forces of buyers and sellers and forced buyers and sellers that are working in the market. But the overall trend is up because that's the nearest unmitigated level that's the most recent unmitigated level that we haven't cleared. Okay. The price moves back up over here, touches, but just not enough weight to get in there. Why? Because we're so close to market open that's happening at 9:30 over here that we're going to pull back a little bit. But notice how we're following this level, this wave. It's sort of like acting a little bit as support. So it comes down over here, nearby, comes up, bounces around, and it's sticking around. And if you notice what I said on Price Action Live this morning, people were saying long, short. I go, my bias is long. My bias is long. We already had this massive bounce from the bottom because we didn't have any nearby levels underneath. All these other levels are cleared. We had this 2-hour level that hasn't been cleared yet, but we had such a move up that and this was already confirming the VWAP level. It looked like we're going to get that. We're going to get an up move. Plus, you add on to that the good reports that we had today. ADP, ISM, which were not amazing, but they weren't terrible. And so the jobs numbers were sort of optimistic. Boom. The market was responding to those at those times. Plus, you add negative gamma on there. Hey, moves are going to be exacerbated. Plus, you add volatility, you can get a big move. So once I'm seeing, hey, my bias is towards the upside, I'm seeing all this good news. We're climbing over different levels, whether that's VWAP, volume, levels, whatever it is, we're climbing up. My bias is up. Why am I going to try to fight that? So then we got this breakout to the top side. Boom. Where did it initially stop? At the first 2-hour level that it hits. We're going to get that bump. It jumps right over there. Why am I pointing this out? Because I don't want you to end up going long. Like, you got to expect these pullbacks. You got to expect that when it hits these levels that you're going to get some sort of knee-jerk reaction. And if you're in a long, I don't want you shaking out. And I don't want you just fat fingering the thing going, oh my God, when should I get in? When should I not get in? That's what I don't want you to do. Because Peter, you know this. If that happens, you get sort of like confused. The candle makes you think that one thing's going to happen, another thing's going to happen. You don't know what's going on. But you toss these things on, you go, okay, let me just calm down. I'm not sure what's happening over here. So I'm seeing a breakout over here. It's starting to go up. Let me go ahead and add an order right at this weekly level that I've been seeing. This week, not a weekly level, sorry, a weekly wave. Let me just go ahead and add an order over there just in case. Sure, maybe I'll go in long over long when it breaks above here, but there's multiple places here I can decide to try to go long, or I could even scalp short. Like these are all scalpable shorts if you wanted to do that. So then you had this move up. Where did it move up next? The freaking level that we've been watching since the end of February. That's where it went to. Not only did it go there, it stalled out there. But notice how it stalled out. It stalled out by going all the way up to this guy, right? It went all the way up to the monthly. Some other times you've seen it that it wicks on this line and then immediately falls down. But because this is nearby and because it's bullish, we're bouncing around here and we're bouncing, bouncing. And this bouncing got tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. What's the tighter and tighter we're seeing? That's what these close knitted purple, these rainbow color levels are. Is let us know that when this comes up, once this bouncing stops, once we get to here and we hit it, this current says, send me to the moon, buddy. And from when we hit those currents, right there, right on the 2-hour VWAP level. Yes, there are 2-hour VWAP levels plotted on your chart. Another level, another level, another freaking level. You hit, hit, hit. These were perfect entries to go and get another 200 points up to the upside. All right. Why did we not continue all the way up over here? Well, we were nearing the end of the day. And so we're going to have to sell off. And there wasn't enough strength in order to pull. And now we are here at a weekly level and we closed here. Where are we expecting to see daily levels for 6 p.m.? It'll be right here at 25.74 and right here at 24.933. And so I'm expecting the price to come down and touch these levels. And then from there, we'll see what happens. But what are our nearby levels? We still have this level at 25.555 that I've been talking about for weeks too, that we haven't cleared. Markets don't like that. Markets don't like clearing unclear levels. But one of the reasons I have wave on the chart is that it also lets me know that, hey, this longer term trend, actually multiple ones and then they're stacked, they decided that they were going to fall back here. Like the price didn't get a chance to get up to this level yet. So the last time we got up to this level, we rejected, which means there's a lot of strength in this upper support. So there's totally a strong possibility that all we get is a move up here to this 2-hour level, which is 25.4, like a nearby, and that we never actually get over there and we move down to the other side, right? That's it for that move. I even see that sort of supported here by lull. That's one of the other indicators in our library that's saying, hey, on the 2-hour, I'm sort of seeing a top and signal. Why do I care about that? Because when those H's show up, you often, not always, but often get a down. When those L's show up, you often get a rise. Not always, but you often get a rise. So when I see those things, I pay attention. And because we close the 2-hour candle at that, to me, there's far more of a likelihood that we have a downside move in our future than we do a massive upside move. But we're in a high volatile regime. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. Peter, does that make sense to you? Does that all help elucidate some of my thinking?
It definitely does. Every time we go through this, I think to myself, what do we have to do to get people to get these indicators on their charts? Because once you have them on, I don't think you can go back. All right. This is it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So the last thing I
Now,
want to point out here,
none of these things are guarantees, right?
that's
But
right.
they're basically just like society got better at predicting the weather, but it's not absolute. These indicators give you the ability to see the motions of the ocean on the charts. Not guarantee, but hell of a lot better than
No,
guessing
I
using your gut.
know.
All right.
I know. All right. So the last thing I want to show you guys here before we leave is what happened with Bitcoin, because I'm pretty happy about this.
Mm.
Pretty happy about this. Now, you guys will remember I've been saying for a while now, especially when we're around here, even before this whole Iran thing happened, I said we have a level above us at 74.3. And I pointed out multiple times that I could totally see another repeat of what happened at the end of 2025, beginning of 2026, where we had essentially the same pattern, a fall, move sideways, and then a rally up. Totally can see that. I said, hey, we're getting to the point over here where the waves are converging. Remember, I was saying this yesterday and the day before? The waves are converging together. Well, when they converge together and they squeeze, then you know something's going to happen. It's either going to drop or it's going to rise. And I said, well, we had a nearby level down here, and that if this wasn't cleared, if this level was not cleared, what I would expect is a rally up and then a fall down. Why? Because ultimately, I believe we're in a bear market and we're headed towards the $50,000 to $55,000 zone for Bitcoin. So I know for that pattern, I'm expecting a rally up in order to get everybody on the wrong side of the boat going. The bottom is in. You see all the YouTube videos now. The bottom is in for Bitcoin. That was coming out. You filter for the last 10 hours. That's what you're going to see. Bottom is in for Bitcoin, and then when everyone's on that side of the boat, that's where you have enough kindling for everything to fall down the other side. And then we wick down to 55,000, 50,000. I go, hey, told you so. Now let's go long. And those people will go, I don't know. I don't think the bottom's in. I was wrong before. Maybe we can go lower. I think maybe 40,000 where we're going to 28,000, whatever. I saw 8,000 the other day. So I'm not surprised by this move, right? We have this level here. We have another level here at 80,200. And that's right near one of our this is the shoot, I forget. What's the purple one? Purple one is the seasonal average. Seasonal average is one of the main averages for Bitcoin, not the only one of the main. And we got near to that level before we fell last time. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got all the way up over there. It's more of a move than I would imagine. I would think that what would happen right now is that we're going to get up to this level, pull back some, then go up to that level, then we're going to fall, very much like we saw over here. And we get to our low. But that's a path dependency thing. We'll see what happens. We are overbought right now on the RSI, so I wouldn't be surprised that, hey, we have a little bit of a ways to go to clear, literally touch this level up here, maybe at the early hours after 6 o'clock, and then 8 o'clock, and then we get a pullback. We'll see. But this is the thing to trade. So I was very happy. A friend of mine messaged me over here, I think on this day, said, hey, should I short Bitcoin? I go, do not short Bitcoin. Bitcoin is very likely to move up. Do not short it. And I asked him today, did you short? He goes, no. You were right, Tom. You're absolutely right. No trade is a trade. And if you can save yourself a bunch of money, that's just as good as making money. All right. Well, that's it, everybody. I'm so happy to have you here today, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Get out there and keep on trading.
No.
Amen, brothers and sisters.
No. I don't like that. I don't like this new Tom.